Hey there, future retirees. Are you counting down the days until your retirement? Or maybe you're just starting to think about retirement. Well, I want to share with you some practical lessons that I learned the hard way and how you can avoid those regrets I have. Trust me, these aren't just financial tips. They're more practical things that can save you a lot of headache and stress later on. When I first started thinking about retirement, I thought it was going to be all about having enough money and enjoying my retirement. I didn't realize that there was so much more to it that would impact my happiness and how I enjoyed my golden years. But after a few years of being retired, I've learned these key lessons that have changed my life for the better. And today I want to help you avoid my mistakes. So let's dive into the 8 things I wish I had done before I retired. Okay, let's start with the big one, saving for retirement. The truth is, I don't know if I ever would have felt as though I'd saved enough for retirement. And how could I? I don't have a crystal ball. I used to think I'll catch up later. But here's the thing. When you're young, you might not think about how much your future self will need. So it's really hard to visualize and be motivated to save for retirement when you're 20. If you're still in your 30s or 40s or even your early 50s, start thinking about that. The earlier you start saving for retirement, the more time your money has to grow. And here's the kicker: compounding. You may not realize it now, but money grows exponentially. The earlier you invest, the greater the reward down the road. Even small contributions add up to a massive amount over time. For example, if you invest $100 a month starting when you're 30, by the time you're 65 and ready to retire, that's an extra $200,000. That's the power of consistent and long-term savings. But you already knew that. Even if you can't max out your retirement account now, start with small amounts and increase over time. I wish I would have started earlier, and I made it a priority in my 20s. Imagine how different things could be for me now. It's something I really keep harping on my kids about. Next up is having a clear vision for your retirement. So many people just focus on the retirement numbers, but they forget about the vision. When you're working, you go through the motions. You know what your day looks like. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, and you repeat 5 days a week. And the Saturday and the Sunday, it's rest and run errands. And that's what your life is during those working days. But once you're retired, you have so much more freedom. And that can be a bit intimidating if you haven't thought about how you'll spend your time. I wish I would have thought about what my days in retirement would look like. What hobbies would I do? What would I do after traveling for a few years? And what are the passions that I wanted to pursue? A clear retirement vision can help you set those goals and keep you excited. And it's not about not working. It's about creating a life that excites you. Find out what excites you. So here's a tip. Take some time this week and think about what your ideal retirement looks like. Start a vision board, write it down, make it real in your mind. The clearer you are about your retirement before you retire, the easier it will be to make it reality. Here's the thing. I didn't pay enough attention to my health until I was already thinking about retiring. But the truth is, health is everything when it comes to enjoying your retirement. Sure, I would go to the dentist, I'd get my eyes checked, I'd get the medicals done, but health is so much more than just those appointments. I wish I would have started exercising more consistently, eating better, prioritizing my mental health much earlier. Physical fitness just isn't about looking good and It's also about feeling good, having energy, and staying active. It helps you ensure that you can enjoy your retirement years to the fullest. Retirement can last 20 to 30 plus years, but if you're neglecting your health, that can affect how much you enjoy your retirement years. I wish I would have started these habits earlier so I can enjoy my retirement without physical limitations. Start small. Take a walk every day, cook healthier meals, less sugar and salt, you know that. Practice mindfulness to stay centered. And take care of your mental health. Your future self will thank you for the investment you've made to your health. Another lesson I learned the hard way: downsizing and decluttering. When you're working and raising a family, it's easy to accumulate stuff. But when you're retired, the last thing you want to deal with is a house full of things you don't need or have space for. I wish I had started decluttering throughout my whole adult life, honestly. Actually, I wish I never would have kept so much stuff throughout my whole life. We keep so many mementos, our kids' old dance costumes, all their artwork from school, their favorite toys. And why? They don't want it. What are we thinking? Decluttering isn't just about getting rid of stuff. It's about freeing up mental space. We moved right after I retired, like 2 days later. And we had gotten rid of so much stuff at that time. But we still have so much stuff that we still have to go through. And our kids don't want it. And I truly don't want to leave it for them to deal with whenever I leave this world. And I know downsizing leads to a simpler life. So I'm on a mission to keep less and buy less. No more stuff. If you're like me and have too much stuff, start today. Go through your home and sell, donate, give away things you don't need. Hobbies, hobbies, hobbies. You may think you have all the time in the world once you retire, but it's actually harder than you think to figure out what to do with all your time when you're retired. I wish I would have started exploring hobbies earlier. Whether it was learning a new language, taking a cooking class, painting, whatever it was. But the truth is, I'm a hobby sampler. Nothing has really stuck and kept me interested for very long. Since retiring, I've struggled to keep my mind and body engaged. I've realized having a hobby that you love is crucial to feeling fulfilled. Now, my hobby is this YouTube channel. It has kept me busy and my mind active, but I wish I would have started it sooner, so I could have spent more time perfecting this craft. I would have learned how to make better videos and how to be a better public speaker. I wish I would have started before I retired. So don't wait until retirement to discover some passions. Explore them now. It'll make your transition into retirement so much smoother and so much more fun. One thing I underestimated was the importance of social connections. Once you retire, you might not have your work friends around anymore, and the loneliness will creep in. It's important to build a strong social circle long before you retire, so you don't feel so isolated. I wish I would have invested more in the friendships outside of work, the social groups and clubs and volunteering. These are great ways to stay connected and engaged within your retirement years. Your social circle becomes so much more vital for your happiness as we age. Start cultivating those friendships and community now, long before you retire. It'll make retirement much more enjoyable and fulfilling. Another thing I wish I would have done differently before retiring was to learn more about finances. And I'm not talking about just saving money, but I'm talking about how our investments work and more about tax strategies. When I first started saving for retirement, I honestly didn't know much about investments or tax strategies. I wish I would have taken the time to educate myself about the financial system and how it works. And I ended up scrambling in my late 50s to figure out how to make my savings last. And it was stressful. Looking back, I would have done more things like maxing out my RSPs, which is similar to the Roth IRA, and our TFSAs, our tax-free savings accounts here in Canada, and learning more about the tax implications of withdrawals in retirement. A little financial knowledge would go a long way. If you're nearing retirement, educate yourself now. Learn how to manage your money better. Understanding your financial situation and retirement options gives you control over your future and allows you to enjoy retirement without unnecessary stress. And finally, don't forget this one. Retirement is about more than just money. It's about having a purpose. People think retirement is about kicking back and relaxing, and for some it is, but it's also important to have something that keeps you engaged and fulfilled and excited to wake up to each morning. Whether you're mentoring a younger generation or volunteering or starting a small business or starting a YouTube channel, having purpose in retirement will make it truly rewarding. It's not about what you do, it's about finding what gives you joy. So there you have it. 8 things I wish I would have done before I retired. But it's not too late. Whether you're nearing retirement or still years away from it, there's always something you can do to improve your future self's life. What's the one thing you're doing now to prepare for retirement? I'd love to hear. Share in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you know when I post my next video. Wishing you the best. Thanks for watching.